Welcome to Temple of Limitless Light, Pathworking for the Path of Gimel, the High Priestess. This is the beginning of our Pathworkings, guided visualizations along the Tree of Life for the upper part of the tree, for the supernals. Very exciting to get to this section of the tree. If you like videos like this, please hit like and subscribe. And you can also join us for these rituals on Facebook via Zoom. We'll put the link in the below in the description so you can join us here. And also, we have a book out with all our rituals if you're interested. And it's available through Llewellyn and other book sources. So tonight, our guided visualization will proceed from Garden of Pomegranates by Israel Regardie and the Ciceros. And we'll do several rituals. First, we'll do a quick Qabalistic cross to connect and ground center so that we're all connected together in an egregore. Then I'll do a quick lesser banishing ritual of the pentagram to create the safe container, sacred space, then open the gateway to the path of Gimel, the High Priestess. And then we'll do the guided visualization. You ready? Okay. Qabalistic cross. Take a few deep breaths. Let's sink into your body. Feel your weight sitting in your chair. Feel the effects of gravity, the solidity of your form. Breathe deeply from your abdomen. Let everything else go. And then when you're ready, visualize yourself growing larger and larger. Your head up through the roof, past the clouds, past the moon, and into space, till the earth is but a small ball beneath your feet. Above your head, visualize a ball of pure brilliance. Reach up, touch the light, bring it down to your forehead, and vibrate. And hold. Bring the light down to your heart center, where you can silently say the name of your inner guru. Then bring the light down through the center of your being, past your feet, and to the very fiery core of the planet. So you're standing in a column of light. And vibrate. Balku. Bring the light up to your left shoulder. Visualize a ball of blue flame representing your compassion and unconditional love. Vegadura. Bring the light across to your right shoulder. Visualize a ball of red flame representing your will, boundaries. Vegebura. That's your arms. Leolam. Amen. Thou art kingdom, glory, and the power forever and ever. Amen. The lesser banishing ritual of the pentagram to create sacred space and the safe container for our work. Yehovah. Exarch. My mind is clear. Connection to the source is clear. My emotions are clear. My connection to the world is clear. Before us, Raphael. Behind us, Gabriel. At our right hand, Mikael. At our left hand, Uriel. Around us flame the pentagrams, and within us shines the six-rayed star. The gate of revealing. I open the gates between worlds. I open the gate of Gimel. Open the gates between worlds. I summon the guide. I summon the guardian, and I summon the ordeal. I open the gates between worlds. Abra Hadabra. Call of the ears for Gimel. Oro cicle, l'acqua anta lo selque, e asel da triani odo e uni antara, kvi salahote, el plonizo da, Gimil. Oro cicle, l'acqua anta lo selque, oro di nuromi e go halorte al kahilante, go a amaus de yadna, alaneshi o wano anim, o alo do al balam, o el do al do noas, o el do al gia. Gate of Gimel is open.
The 13th path is named the Uniting Intelligence and is so called because it is itself the essence of glory. It is the consummation of the truth of individual spiritual things. This path is a direct pipeline that unites the higher self of Tipperath to the divine self of Kether. It is the direct route of the soul. The 13th path, more than any other, is the path that connects the lesser universe of man to the greater universe of the Godhead, the God spark within to the source beyond. And because it is a clear, straight path between the major spheres of the head and the heart, it is the essence of glory, which bestows a particular level of clarity and truth. The path of Gimel represents the purest root essence of consciousness, often symbolized by water. The uniting intelligence knows and sees all. It is pure mental energy, operating at the unconscious level. Its essence saturates all things in the universe, yet it remains unchanged by anything it touches. The 13th path is the primary regulator of the divine life force as it flows down the tree in vibratory waves of energy, which become ever more dense. In traveling this path, the student attempts to unite the human parts of the self to the divine part. Here, the student also learns about the processes of memory and subconscious recall and reflection, man as counterpart of the divine. Although this path may be a long ordeal, when it is finally accomplished, the ultimate initiation takes place.
Guided visualization of the path into Gimel. You formulate the astral temple of Malkuth and intone the appropriate divine names. Sandalphon emerges and you exchange the projection sign and the sign of silence with her. When she asks what you have come to the temple of Malkuth, you hold up the silver crescent. The archangel escorts you up to the path of Tau to Yesod. You continue up the path of Samak to Tipurath. The six-sided temple of Tipurath surrounds you, draped in yellow and illuminated by 6 large candlesticks, with large hexagrams engraved in both the ceiling and the floor. You announce your presence in the temple by vibrating the divine names which call forth its inhabitants. Yehovah, Eloah, Veda, Raphael, Elakim. The archangel appears in all his golden radiance. He asks you,
You have entered the abode of the Ruach and the holy guardian angel. By what symbol dost thou enter herein?
You answer, by the symbol of the silver crescent.
Raphael gives you a nod of satisfaction and takes you to the east of the temple and draws back a portion of the yellow drapery to reveal a blue archway bearing a white letter Gimel on its keystone. Within the arch is a veil with a tarot image of the high priestess upon it. The archangel traces the symbol of Luna in the air. Before the archway, and the veil evaporates. In its place is a door carved out of moonstone. Holding up the silver crescent, you trace the figure of the letter Gimel before the door. Which dissolves. Stepping through the portal, you enter the 13th path, and as you do so, you hear the voice of Raphael as he speaks to you. It is written, it is not from man to man that the great gifts are communicated, for that which he can give to another is that only which a man can spare from himself. It is for this reason that, after solidarity and brotherhood, each of us stands alone. Know that all is one.
You step out into a grassy field bordered by fruit and nut-bearing trees. The sun overhead is brilliant, and the air is sweetly scented with jasmine. You walk toward a gently sloped hill that rises in the east. A sandy path leads over the hill, and you take it, leaving the valley behind. The hill appears to go on indefinitely. The more you walk uphill, the further away the hilltop appears. The heat of the sun is severe. With firm resolve, you press on, but it seems to take on an extraordinary amount of time to reach the summit. At length, you arrive at the top of the hill, exhausted and thirsty. You look out over a vast, high desert plateau where there is nothing to see but endless miles of sand dunes. The path continues to the east. It is faint, but still visible. Determined to cross the desert, you start down the trail. After walking for what seems to be miles, you begin to wonder if maybe this journey wasn't such a good idea after all. There is nothing here for you to eat or to drink, not even a cactus to cut open and drink the bitter juices from. It is late afternoon now, and the sun's power is dying but relentless. You feel it drain your energy as you begin to tire. Each step becomes more and more difficult. Exhaustion sets in, and you stumble from weariness, landing face first in the sand. Suddenly, you hear a noise and feel hot breath on the back of your neck. You look up into the soft brown eyes of a camel, its bridle straps rubbing your arm. Grabbing the leather straps, you pull yourself to your feet. The camel is equipped with an ornate saddle of blue and silver leather covered in moonstones and pearls. Grateful to have been mysteriously provided with the means of transportation, you climb into the saddle and continue your journey eastward as the sun gradually sets behind you. The animal sets a steady, reassuring pace. It seems to know exactly where it's going. As the day fades into night, the camel's hooves almost appear as if they hardly touch the ground at all. They glide over the sand. In the failing light, you see that the path ends at the edge of a cliff. The camel picks up its pace and gallops towards the cliff that overlooks a huge gaping chasm. The other side of the abyss is concealed in the oncoming darkness. Without slowing, the camel takes a great leap off the edge of the crevice into absolute darkness.
Time seems to be suspended in that leap. You are uncertain whether a second, a few minutes, or several hours have passed. The only thing you are certain of is the blackness that surrounds you. You cannot even see the camel beneath you. Both you and the animal seem to be weightless, as if floating in slow motion through deep space. The world you used to know seems light years away. Without warning, time speeds up again, and you land on the other side of the chasm. But the camel does not even break its stride. It is still night, but no longer completely dark. The bright full moon overhead illuminates the sand dunes, and the camel gallops across the desert at breakneck speed. Gradually, the flat desert landscape gives way to rolling hills and forests, and a stream appears ahead. Its water is sparkling in the moonlight. You dismount and take a long, cool drink of pure water. Revived, you climb back up on the camel, which walks at a casual pace up the middle of the stream toward the water source. Ahead, there is a small temple that appears to be constructed in the Hellenic style, but carved completely from moonstone. A great crescent-shaped row of columns flank the entrance on either side. Enclosing the headwaters of the stream that flows out of an aqueduct just under the pearl steps that lead up to the entrance of the sanctuary. The camel stops at the foot of the building. You dismount and walk up the stairs into the main temple chamber. There is no source of illumination in the room other than the bright full moon, its light permitted to enter through a ceiling that is open to the sky. There are two great columns, one of moonstone and the other of obsidian. Before them is a square pool full of pure water, the source of the stream outside. Selene, the bright moon, is reflected in the waters of this pool, and her light is refracted. It dances off the surface of the water to form graceful currents of iridescence that caress the walls and the columns of the chamber. In the east of the temple, you notice the stylized image of a star engraved on the wall. Outside of these simple yet potent symbols, the temple is empty. You sit down by the pool and stare into the water.
You are suddenly gripped by a terrible feeling of loneliness and despair. Is this it, you wonder? All this way for a temple, a moonlit pool, and the drawing of a star. Shouldn't there be more? Where are the gods and goddesses, the knights and the prophets, the legends and stories that illustrated the previous past? Even Selene, the goddess of the bright moon, whom you have encountered briefly on an earlier path, is silent now. The path that you explored in the middle realms of the tree never left you with such feelings of spiritual desolation. You are filled with self-doubt about why you are even attempting to scale the tree of life. You question your motives, your accomplishments, and even your most strongly held spiritual beliefs. Never have you felt more empty or alone. Overcome by sorrow, you bury your face in your hands as tears stream down your face, and your body is racked with sobs.
Salty tears fall into the pool of water where they turn into pearls. You cry until you have exhausted all feelings of sadness and despair. A sense of calm returns, and as you look up, wiping away the last of your tears, you see that the bottom of the pool is covered with pearls. The eastern wall of the temple now appears transparent, open to the starry horizon. Where there was once a drawing of a star, there is now a real star, or rather a cluster of stars, a spiral galaxy. You watch the galaxy spinning slowly and gracefully, and you hear the voice of Selene, the bright moon, finally speaking to you from the canvas of the night sky. Looking up at the moon, you see the head of a woman entirely hidden by a veil.
Can your tears prevail against the tide of the sea? She asks. Your might against the waves of the storm. Your love against all the sorrows of the world. The path of Gimel passes through Da'at, the higher arc of Yesod. It is written, and the Dath of the depths are broken up, and the clouds drop down dew. This is the initiation which no mortal being can offer. This is the final purification that no earthly water can bestow. It has been called the dark night of the soul. Could the path that leads to the experience of the final union of God be any less? Could any vestige of impurity survive such an ascent? All must be let go. All must be released. Here the soul is purged of all imperfection. It is secretly taught the unity of the divine love without conscious understanding of the manner of teaching. The blemishes of the soul are shed like tears into the primal sea. They are the pearls of growth. For nothing here is as it seems, or as you imagine it to be.
The image of the veiled woman fades into the luminary of the moon. The eastern wall of the temple has become solid again, displaying the drawing of the star. You don't understand everything that was revealed to you. Perhaps you're not meant to understand more than a glimpse of this most potent path. Perhaps it is not possible for a living being to understand more. Either way, you have a sense that something profound has happened to you here, on a level that you don't profess to understand. You have a deep sense of spiritual clarity. Your journey on the path of Gimel has reached its completion. Climbing back up on the camel, you return to the temple of Tippereth, where you leave your mount and are greeted by the archangel Raphael. There you descend the path of Samek to Yesod, and from there you continue down the path of Tau to the temple of Malkuth. Sandalphon secures the portal of Tau. You salute the archangel of Malkuth with the projection sign, and she answers with a sign of silence. By this merit, may all sentient beings know peace. We will shut down the meeting and we will see you next week.